I can remove it. Okay. Put down.
A warm welcome to the program. Good morning. My name is Simapolo, and it is the Dialogue on Soul TV. Every Saturday morning, we go down to look at the stories that made headlines through the week, and we put into context those national issues. Welcome once again. And this morning, as we wind up a week, an eventful week, we must acknowledge that we are in the middle of a pandemic. We commiserate with those that lost their loved ones to the COVID-19 pandemic, and we stand with those that are in health facilities and those that are struggling to make ends meet down in their homes. Welcome once again. My guests are already in the studios. We have many issues to look at this week. Of course, the highlight of the week is the COVID relief cash. The disbursement started this week, and I hope that is one issue we'll give time in the program. But of course, other issues are already on the table today. This week, we also saw a decrease in the numbers of infections. I'm talking about the COVID-19 cases, and that also gives a ray of hope that things will normalize soon. Looking at the statistics from the Ministry of Health this week, the curve is slowly going down, and it's good news to Ugandans who are in the 42-day long lockdown, and it gives hope that the lockdown may soon come to an end. I'm joined by Richard Baguma Tinkasimire. He is a trained communicator, actually a senior communicator, and he is also a veteran journalist. Talk to the viewers, Mr. Baguma.
Good morning, colleagues. I'm glad to be back here with something covering my face now. Probably the first time I'm covering my face. I'm hoping we are all covering our faces. Baguma Tinkasimire Richard, like I've been introduced. I coordinate the Uganda Health Communication Alliance, and I'm a communicator of some years now.
All right.
It's nice to be here.
Welcome to the show, Baguma Richard, and of course we've been joined by a youth leader from PG District, Miss Winfred Nakandi. Speak to our viewers.
Thank you so much. Good morning, viewers of Soul TV. I'm Winfred Nakandi, female youth leader in PG District Youth Council and executive director of Musichana Uganda.
Well, Musichana Uganda, what is it about Musichana Uganda as we start the program?
Thank you. Musichana, for starters, means girl in Kiswahili, and we're running programs to advance the reproductive health rights information for girls, especially teenagers, 11 to 30 years, that's teenage girls and young women. Most importantly, menstrual hygiene management and how to get out of the many challenges that girls face, especially now that schools are closed down.
I hope that is a good cause, and welcome once again to the program.
Thank you so much.
All right, viewers, like I said, it's an eventful week. We are concluding today, and at the beginning of this week, we had sad news of the passing of a former legislator, a veteran politician, an eloquent speaker, Honorable Agri Awori, passed on, and what I have is that he will be laid to rest today. We can dedicate the program to that senior citizen who passed away this week. And a quick comment from Baguma: you must have passed ways with the former legislator, and what we can talk about him is that he was the first black director of Uganda Television, that state broadcaster of the 1960s and 70s. What can you say about the veteran politician who has passed on?
First is I think we should celebrate his life. He was still fairly strong, and yet he was of advanced age. He's a person who liked remaining healthy. I think it takes from his sports history. He liked exercising very much. we crossed paths severally. Perhaps one of the things that the older viewers will remember is that we used to be on the same talk show, political talk show on Uganda television. Yeah, so we interacted. Then I interacted a little bit more to his home. He had at that time a daughter in the university in Mshenyi. So yeah, we interacted quite a bit. I think he's a person who generated debate. He's a person who would, among people I would interact with, he's a person who generated, he was controversial, I can say. Some people associated him with sports, with UPC, and with the rebel movement, the force of Vote that killed many heresies in the beginning in the eastern region. Then others knew him as a nationalist, as a patriot, as somebody who was clever and versatile, who was also very brilliant in school, and who came from a family that led in Uganda and in Kenya, because at the time when he was minister, his brother was the vice president
of Kenya.
And then he was married to, the wife was the head of the UNDP in Africa, the African region. So he's a person who had kind of an all-round life. What I liked about him personally was that I think he was one of the most well-informed people I came across. You see, you have these debates you can have with Nakandi or you on set, but there is the talk which you have off-set. That was very rich. I think he had a very rich knowledge of the geopolitics of this country, of the region, but also of the globe.
Well, I think that's another legacy he leaves behind. Honorable Aggrey Awori. And Nakandi, do you have anything you can speak about the former legislator?
Yes, unfortunately, I did not ever get to meet Honorable Aggrey Awori, but I just kept reading about him. He was a very affluent politician and economist. And for me personally, I always take pride in the history that he made for Uganda in Harvard University, winning the long hurdles and high jumps and all that. So he was definitely an affluent politician, economist, and sportsman.
Really?
He leaves a very big legacy for us to pick a leaf from.
Good. What we cannot forget, of course, our viewers, is that Aggrey Awori contested for presidency in 2001, though he did not make it anyway.
Yeah.
It's a legacy.
We remember him for the helicopter that never was.
Yeah.
Actually, he's the first presidential candidate to introduce that the air transport during campaigns.
During campaigns.
And you know what is interesting is I've lived a bit in Kenya in the last few years.
In Uganda, I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That for them, how do you become a presidential candidate? How, when you don't even have
a vehicle?
Yes.
So they can't understand us. Even vice presidential. They have a helicopter.
Yeah, helicopters in Kenya.
It's just so for us here. But I'm also told that some powers that be will not allow you to own a helicopter here. I have also heard,
Especially during campaigns.
not only, you will not be allowed to own a helicopter here, even when you have the money.
Yes. Well, I think that's it for Honorable Aggrey Awori, a veteran politician and eloquent speaker, well known for his work and dedication during the 7th Parliament. And today we hear he will be laid to rest in Bujiri district. May his soul rest in peace. And Baguma, I think, and Madam Nakandi, let's move on and look at the decrease in the number of cases of infections in this country. We saw the curve going down this and the other week, and that's good news to the people who are in the lockdown, I hope.
Yeah, I'm very cautious. You see, my main preoccupation now is communicating health. So pandemics, communicating nutrition, communicating cancer, and whatever. My communication, journalism career has taken that. So I'm quite careful not to generate a lot of excitement about the lowering of the numbers, and also the testing positivity rate. They have certainly gone down, and we must celebrate. We must celebrate that. We must talk about that. But I'm also careful not to over focus on that, so that people don't lower their guard. So it's my concern about the balance. The numbers have certainly gone down without question. And you see the number of tests went up, but the number of positivity have gone down.
Positivity rate.
Also the post-testivity rate was about 17 point something.
Yeah, now it's 9.
It's now less than 10.
Yeah, 9.3, 9.4.
Yes, so that's a huge reduction. So we must say thank you and kudos for the interventions that have been done, for the lockdown, obviously, but also the interventions. I think one of the interventions that we have not celebrated enough are the different herbal remedies that are supportive to the treatment of, yes, we have not. You know, we only talk about COVID-19 is the only one. That's not true. We have a couple of herbal remedies that are a mixture of what we know has traditionally and historically treated our viral infections, particularly cough and flu. And those people have concentrated on them. You see, when I come to you, Apollo, and you know I've been telling you even previously, except for being politically correct, you know, generally I'm not putting on a mask, I'm not so worried about this. Because I have had a mixture that I have used even during the first lockdown, as you remember, and I have used it now, and I'm very confident because I have seen how it has worked. I don't come to say where I get it from, because I don't want to contradict with big science. Big science is a multi-trillion business. When you start talking about these things that have helped you, so the numbers have come down.
You fear?
Yes, I agree. The lockdown is scientifically known because we are the vehicles for transmission.
Yeah, true.
When you cut us from movement, you reduce the numbers. And there have been interventions, health education, health promotion, information. You guys have done a great job. So yes, the numbers have come down. I'm cautious though that we need to have the numbers to keep going down, way below where we are,
true.
in order for us to start thinking of easing the restrictions.
Okay. All right, Nakandi, you can come in, and the president a few days ago also affirmed what Mr. Baguma is talking about, that the lockdown seemed to have worked. What is your take on that?
Yes, it is worthwhile to celebrate the reduction in numbers of positive cases. My worry, however, is how long do we have to hide? There is this scripture that the president and leaders, religious leaders, keep reminding us. The Bible says there is a moment when there is catastrophe, then God told the people to hide. Now, the cases have gone down because we are in hiding. You know, statistically, whenever we're in a lockdown, the numbers go down. So, sustainably, how long do we have to keep locked down for the numbers to keep down? For me, I would like us to celebrate when the numbers are going down because the vaccination rate is so high, because so many people have gotten the vaccine, because so many people have gotten fully vaccinated. But of course, we shall celebrate this success. However, my worry is, what happens after the 42 days? Do we have to keep home for another 42 days for us to keep those numbers low? Yes, we can celebrate the decrease in numbers, but the sustainability of the measure that we are taking now to keep the numbers low is still in question.
Well, I think Mr. Baguma, Ms. Nakandi raises a very pertinent issue about vaccination, which globally is actually looked at as the possible remedy for the pandemic. If we are down into lockdown and still we don't get people vaccinated to get that herd immunity that would allow us to freely go out to business as normal, are we not missing the point?
First of all, my view is that there are a couple of responsibility centers for your health, but most importantly, for your life. Government is one of the responsibility centers. Self is perhaps the most important responsibility center for your life. Community, family. So We must take each one of us responsibility. You see, I hear people talk about vaccination, and I vaccinated fully. I did not have a problem, by the way, because I was in the qualifying category, but I was also an activist. Among the first people, when there was this hesitation, we are still seeing, I don't know, including the head of state, we are still seeing, I don't know which one is better, I went and vaccinated. You see, if I see the people who think love themselves very much, using something, I will use it. They love themselves very much. So if I see them start using the vaccine, I will use it. For you, you can wait. First, I don't know, what laboratory do you have to check the efficacy? So we said, okay. You remember how much effort we were putting in to get people to go vaccinate. It is when people started dropping like leaves off a tree, everyone ran. And then the vaccines ran out. You see, if you have money, a bag of money, dollars, and you are in the Sahara Desert in the middle, however much you want, you will not get what.
It won't be.
Yeah.
You won't find what.
It won't
is
be of
the
value.
same thing as vaccines. Whether you want to vaccinate or not, the vaccines are not available. It is as simple as that. That is number one. Now, if we do not recognize that the vaccines are simply not there, where they are made, they don't give it to you. It is as simple as that.
Is it a fact?
That they will not give it to you.
Maybe, Mr. Baguma, now where we stand, the issue of vaccine hesitancy is no longer an issue. People are running to
be vaccinated,
to take the jab.
Why are you not talking about the issue
there are no vaccines
of not having vaccines? So where are the vaccines? The vaccines are with the countries which produce them, and they are not giving them to you. It is simple. You go produce yours.
But other countries have done it.
Which
other
ones?
countries
Which ones?
have worked their way.
Which ones? Which countries in Africa have vaccinated millions? You see, I am not the interviewer here. You are the interviewer. But when you present a wrong as fact, I challenge you. There are no countries in Africa which have vaccinated millions. We as a country, and I want to tell you that there are many mistakes government has done, which should have not been done. But there are some things that have also been done. As a country, we said, let's entrust UNICEF with money, because maybe UNICEF is international, it will go and get vaccines. UNICEF was given $11 million by the Uganda government.
Through COVAX facility?
By the Uganda government.
Are you talking about?
Government money. Forget COVAX. The government of Uganda availed $11 million to UNICEF. Say, who can purchase vaccines? Say UNICEF is the one which is used to buying vaccines because of children. They couldn't find the vaccines. They sat with the money. So it's as simple as that. So that is one of the most important constraints. Then there are others. Why are we, as a continent, including even the South America, including why are we not producing our own vaccines? Why not?
But we can maybe get to that debate later.
Why?
Because we are in the middle of a crisis.
But you see, we are going to get another crisis. We did not learn from the previous crises. So are we going to keep waiting in the middle of a crisis? We should have learned from the previous crises. Yeah. This continent does not defend itself at all. You don't make gunpowder, you don't make bullets, you can't defend yourself militarily. So you get trumped upon by everybody. You can't do medicines, you can't do vaccines. You are now surrendering your food, and you are surrendering even your water. I mean, so those mistakes, our governments, our leaders, past and present, have made them. There has to be responsibility apportioned. And then, we are the carriers. We know we are the spreaders. We need an LD to beat us, not to go to the bar. Really, should anybody be getting beaten because they are in a bar during COVID? Well, should we wait to be arrested honestly? So the responsibility center is government, The responsibility center is part of the leadership, past and present. The responsibility center is our community, ourselves, our leaders, even at the local level. The responsibility center is ourselves. We must be able to share responsibility in our portions.
All right. As I pass over to Madam Nakandi, I think, Mr. Baguma, it's not time for lamentations. We may not lament that we have failed all these years to produce vaccines. What remedy?
But is it a fact or not?
I'm asking. It's a fact. It's a fact. Can we take to prevent our people from dying, right, as we speak?
Look,
as those countries.
First of all, all the countries that were able to vaccinate and got, the ones who hoarded vaccination, they all locked down. In fact, they are still locking.
Yeah, true.
Let me tell you, how many deaths occurred in UK? 600,000?
Yeah.
Is there any country on this continent or among us who has a better health system than UK or Italy?
In UK, they're still little. They're around 110.
So, fine. US, Italy.
US, India, and Brazil.
So do we have better health systems here than them? How come for us we are dying 2,000? For them they are dying in hundreds of thousands. It cannot be about the health system. No. The health system is a small contributor. Otherwise, if it was the health system, those people would not have died in hundreds of thousands. No.
So you insinuate that probably...
What are we waiting for? We should lock down. We should be most seriously looking for vaccines and vaccinating our people. We should be most seriously putting money in our own science for the remedies that we have traditionally that we know, not fighting around them. The money, Ogwanga said he needed 2 billion shillings. You want me to cry? 2 billion? Do you know that 2 billion is just
yeah, for government.
Just how many cars are those?
It's little money to government.
Why is it not available? You know, so those are the things. Those are the things but why should me and you be arrested in a bar, in a gathering, in a what?
Okay.
Why are we not taking responsibility? Are they arresting anybody who is not educated?
I get you.
Yeah.
I get you. You're saying the possible remedy now is a lockdown, 2, helping local remedies, local treatment measures. Those are the possible remedies.
No.
Understand?
Why are you?
In absence of vaccines.
You must look for them actively. You must continue looking for them, lobbying for them actively, like you lobby for the other things. But also, the people must take responsibility for their health also.
All right. Nakandi, you can make a rejoinder on what you said in the beginning about vaccines. Do you think we have done enough? Because Baguma says we have done enough, but maybe the supply chain is constrained.
Well, I appreciate the fact that vaccines are not ordinarily available, but just like he said, we need to make so much effort in looking for vaccines, negotiating through the COVAX facility, and they like to say that we get much more vaccines than are available. But also another important thing is the monies that we are spending right now as COVID response. I think in one way we are misdirecting the funds. We need to invest heavily in our own health system. You see, one of the reasons why people are dying is because they cannot afford the medication. So in this instance where okay, we know the vaccines are not readily available. So what are we doing? Is government doing enough in subsidizing the private health facilities? Because now people are dying because of lack of oxygen, lack of hospital beds, you know. Medical personnel are dying because of lack of PPEs. Personal protective equipment. So the money that we have, if we cannot get the vaccines, okay, we agree about that. We shall get the vaccines as they come from the powerful countries through COVAX and through donations like India did. But the money that we have at the moment, can we invest it in a health system? You know, now the private health practitioners were even, you see, when government started negotiating with the private medical facilities, people thought that maybe they would go on their knees, but they were adamant. They're like, okay, you see, we charge highly because of this and this. If you've not subsidized our power and water bills, if you've not done anything to help us get oxygen, maybe freely or at subsidized costs, what do you expect us to do? If the numbers are high, the beds are not there.
All right.
The ICU facilities are not there, so definitely they will charge highly. So government has to come out strongly in supporting the facilities that we already have, public and private.
All right. Now, I would want to get your reaction on the reality that a lockdown is one of those possible remedies we have today in the face of the pandemic.
Just like I said, you see, a lockdown is very important. My worry is the sustainability of the lockdown. What happens when we start easing? You know, shall our curve be going up and down, up and down, up and down? The sustainability is not what I'm saying. After these 42 days, say if the president said, okay, now let's bring public transport back slowly. Are we registering that flat curve, or are we registering some consistency in the drops even after some businesses or social services are brought back to life? Yeah, so the lockdown is a good thing. It's a good thing when you are in a crisis and you do not know what to do, but the sustainability of the lockdown in a time when we do not have vaccination. And you see the challenge we have. We got the 864,000 doses first, AstraZeneca from the COVAX facility.
And later 175.
Then India gave us 100,000 doses. And now much later, previously, still through COVAX, France brought 175,000. Now the challenge is, there are people who were vaccinated before, who took the first jab. And now their time reaches to take the second jab, and the vaccine is not there. What is the Ministry of Health telling us about people who take the first jab, but the vaccine is not readily available to take the second? Because they said that for the 175,000 doses that were brought in previously, priority will be given to those who took their first jab already. But 175,000 cannot match the 964,000 doses that were taken prior. So there's a challenge there.
It's another challenge. Maybe we must wait for the Ministry of Health to come out.
No, they have come out.
You can make it, make that clarification.
I do sit in the health communication processes. The latest research that came out this week is that there is a possibility that we will actually need a third jab.
Yeah, true.
The first study that came out was that we should have in 8 weeks, after 2 months. You do one and change. So for us who started, we actually had after 2 months. But the next study which came said, no, it is actually even better.
Yeah, you get that third booster.
No, it is even better after 3 months, that you should actually wait beyond 8 weeks. That 8 weeks, because you see, when you get the vaccine today, you don't know how it will react in 8 months. You can only talk about, you can only test for the time it has been there.
Okay.
So that time they had tested, they say, no, I need to correct this thing. I need to share information. Because Nakadi might not have had it, and she doesn't take as much interest as I do because I'm a health communicator. So they said, no, it is actually better to wait 12 weeks.
Okay.
That's when you have more efficacy.
All right.
So the worry for 2 months should not even be that much. The better efficacy is even after.
So they should not be worried.
Do you see?
Because science, because in the beginning we only had the COVAX for 2 months. Now we have it for a couple of months. So scientists have studied how it behaves. So this study was saying, the one that came out last week, that it works even for you still have even the first one for 8 months.
8 months? 8 weeks. 8 months.
8 months. It's still there in the body. And it gives you a level, one jab, gives you a level of protection.
Yeah.
Slightly over 50%. When you boost it, then you go higher.
Yeah.
So that's why it's called a booster dose. So even the one who has only one jab has better protection than the one who has no jab at all.
All right.
So the question you'd be asking yourself, should we offer people some protection, or should we deny them even that one because we are waiting for the second booster? Those are the science questions that you ask, and you know you are discussing lives. You are not discussing.
Very sensitive.
So for me, I was ready to get the first jab, get that limited protection, than have no protection at all.
All right. So the fact is, Mr. Bagumanje, Madam Nakandi, we don't know when the vaccines are coming in. So
we know when some of them are coming in now. We know.
But are we sure
we know when some
are coming?
You see, even the ones we already have, we were told they are coming. We have given you, they will come in this time. They came. So we can be skeptical. We can have skepticism. That's okay. But we have seen 3 batches come. Why should we be thinking that the 4th will not come when they have told us it's coming in August?
In August. But, well, we are in the middle of a 42-day lockdown. And that means, because, Baguma, I'm interrogating your 2 remedies, possible remedies that stand now.
No, 4.
One.
Don't say 2.
Wait,
I said 4.
One is the lockdown, and another one is local remedies.
Yes.
Yes. Of treatment. And I'm asking.
No, 4. You're examining only 2. Okay.
I'm asking.
Okay.
I'm asking, how far can the remedy of local treatment, local herbs, take us, really? Because I'm looking at how I can eliminate the lockdown.
No, I agree with you. The way you're going to eliminate the lockdown first is vaccination.
Which is also
that is the
most unlikely.
That is also, no, it is going to happen, but later. Do you know, let me tell you, do you know that there are countries which have had 3 lockdowns?
Yeah.
Do we agree on this set? That there are countries which have had 3 controls?
Who are planning.
Yes.
And,
so why do we think that we are so special we want to get a 3rd one? You see, the pandemic comes in waves. That is the science. We are lucky that we are only on the 2nd wave. Why are we preparing for the 3rd wave? Why do we think it won't come? And it has come to the others. So you see, for me, we can be here and wish, but we also must prepare what science has shown us in practice.
So
we can avoid if we were having command over supply of vaccines.
Of the vaccine.
We would then, now we have no command.
So from your submission, Mr. Maguma, from your submission, you cannot rule out an extension of this 42-day lockdown.
Of course.
If we keep behaving carelessly, I would advocate.
What do you call carelessly?
We are, you are the one who broadcasts people here on sort being arrested in bars. Aren't you the one? Am I right?
Yes, please.
Really? Why do you?
we need to move on, but let's conclude on this matter. How do you see it panning out in the next 20? Are they in 20 days?
I don't count.
Yeah, around 20 days.
For me, I'm looking at how it's going down.
Of course, people are badly off. We know. The lockdown definitely cripples the economy. The economy is the macro aspect, it's the bigger one, but at household level, definitely people are doing badly because their business centers are closed, and wherever they were getting money from, movements, especially public transport, is closed. So definitely in the next day, especially that even the Nabanja money has not come, it is only that the population is learning to survive on their own, definitely. This is not a government whose promises we know that they keep. Yeah, so people are learning, people are surviving on their own, albeit amidst very, very, very tough difficulties. Really? Yeah.
All right, viewers, it is The Dialogue. My name is Simapolo. Our guests, we have Winfred Nakandi from Miss Chana, Uganda, and she's a female youth leader from Mpigi district, and we have Mr. Baguma Tinkasimire. Richard is a health communicator and veteran journalist. We are looking at issues happening in this country. The issue of the lockdown, we can put it aside, but then we cannot, because Ugandans had a sigh of relief, some few Ugandans this week, when the cash relief support from government was launched, and the disbursement started this week. A relief, actually. Now, can you speak to that relief that we saw?
You see, our system, I don't know if our leaders intend to do these things, because this lockdown, I am sure, did not come as an emergency. We had phases of it. The president first locked down a certain aspects before putting the total lockdown. So a serious government, a serious leadership would actually have these plans in place before the lockdown starts. They would know in other countries, they know that in the second week of the lockdown, everyone starts receiving their money. But we started the lockdown on 18th of June, and here we are on the 10th of July, And the vast majority of even those that they tagged vulnerable are yet to receive any money. Besides the money being so little, is it 100,000 shillings for a family of 5? Because they say the average is 5 children, 5 people, 5 heads per household for 42 days. That would include rent and utilities and the like. Of course, it's very small money. But if that is what you're sending, do it on time. But even the modalities, the people who take the records, you see, everything is really taking a very long time that I'm sure by the time we hit the 42 days, very many people, even the few that they had chosen to get the money, would not have gotten it. And of course, the relief fund now is the relief fund is very discriminative.
Really?
You see, in Mpigi district, we have Mpigi Town Council, we have Kayawe Town Council, we have Buwama Town Council. You have locked down all border borders operating in Buwama Town Council, or even in Muduma sub-county. You're telling every border not to work. You're saying border borders can only carry goods, can carry food, you know. And of course, village border borders do not do so many deliveries like Kampala border borders. Now, if you've locked down border borders everywhere, but you're going to give money to only 500,000 and thereabout households, that's discriminative.
Okay.
You know, if you have, because you see people's businesses everywhere. You see, some of these things are just words, like municipality, like city. They are simply words. Mpigi Town Council can easily be Mpigi municipality. You know, it is not different from many other municipalities. But if you segregate it and say, no, these ones have gardens or things like that, if there is a relief fund, it would work better if it has reached a bigger number of people. You know, not the 500,000 and so families or households.
All right, Mr. Baguma, Nakandi raises very many issues. I don't know where to start, but one of them is the scope of beneficiaries and the amount that is being dispersed as a relief support.
Yeah, and I can add on that list. See, one is I come from a background where something is better than nothing.
Yeah, true.
So that also for me is important. But there is something, it's better than nothing. And I think it's important that when leaders who have been elected and trusted by people, and especially young ones like Nakandi, I think it's important when they message that way, balanced. Even when you have different political shades, that appreciating the little is important, and then you can dismiss it. Talk about it dismissively. So that's one. The second thing for me is that a major question that has come to my mind is, because I felt government was deep, I felt this decentralization thing was deep, that we have had challenges generating credible lists.
And the few actually.
First forget the few. Credible lists of beneficiaries, however few. In fact, for me, the few are the more credible.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, because it means you are dealing with less numbers.
That's what I'm saying.
So the credibility should be top notch. That we have failed. Now, the reasons why we have all these things are different. I was at the border stage near my office the other day. And I said, can you put me on the list? They said, Mzee, we can put you, but if the 100,000 comes,
shall see a
what
way.
happens?
Shall see a way of sharing. So you have to be connected to be vulnerable.
I said, God, even at that level, because I am certainly not a border rider, but there was some willingness to include me there. Maybe that has happened with the LCs and all the other systems. Maybe. So the credibility itself of the system, that's one, the information is, I think, one important thing. The second one, and this is for me what is sad, you see, in the last lockdown, there was a non-government organization, I think it was called Something Giving. Something Giving. It is the one which said for us, we are not going to buy posho, beans, whatever. We are going to give cash handouts to our beneficiaries. Because as this NGO, which was intervening in poverty eradication, whatever, they had understood that cash handouts can be an important stimulant, not just for the individual or the family,
but also
for the
For the
larger
economy.
economy.
Yeah.
That NGO was demonized.
Really?
Oh, it was demonized publicly. Security, blah,
Yes.
blah, went up. But this was happening across the border. In Kenya, they were giving cash handouts. Why are you demonizing this? I can tell you, my own experience with these things is that somebody wanted a share of the cash, couldn't access the cash of the NGO, had their security connections, and demonized this NGO. That NGO, in my view, has been validated. That I have seen them call her Anti-Nabi. Right on the Prime Minister. I have seen when the WhatsApp messages, they call her Anti-Nabi. Now Anti-Nabi has adopted the other system.
Anti-Nabanja.
Anti-Nabi. They have used, they are using
The youthful.
the modern whatever. Has adopted this. I think government should be ashamed.
Really?
Yes, on that you have an innovation, you have an organization that is showing you the way, and because of especially your corrupt tendencies, you are demonizing them. And that corruption was seen in the procurement of the things that time. I can guarantee you that corruption is going to be seen
Even in this
in
That's
this cash.
not
I
obvious,
can
man.
guarantee you on
Sure.
that.
Really?
It is going to be seen in this cash. So, I say there could be more given. But the little that is given, it needs to be appreciated. However, we must not applaud mediocrity. If things are happening in a mediocre manner, we must not. There should be, in my view, I agree with you, more money put
in
to
this program.
I don't mind, by the way, giving them 100,000. For now, you can see what, but give maybe $1 million. This money benefits the economy.
Yeah, even now,
Keeps
Absolutely.
the economy running.
There is no question.
even right from the telecom companies that are undertaking this, they
money
will pay taxes.
there are many
They
ramifications.
will bring something back
There are
to
many
the treasury.
ramifications. It does benefit the economy. So yes, we need to increase the amount so that we may keep the threshold of 100,000. Okay, maybe we are not that rich, but increase the number of beneficiaries.
Okay.
Also do this better, so that it's not another cash bonanza.
Is there still room for making it better? Like
There is always room for improvement.
because
there is never.
Nakad raised the issue of timeliness. That help
Yes,
is coming
I
late.
agree, but
coming
I
in late.
agree entirely. But it was my other philosophy also of better late than
Really?
never. I think
the
old
Government
adage
ought to
is
do
not
better than that.
the old adage is not stupid. We ought to do better. You want me to say that again?
At any one time.
But even when we have done good,
Okay.
we should recognize
Mr.
that.
Waguma, now do you appreciate that our leaders did not take lessons from the first lockdown? That probably they would have done this better, like you're saying. You
Our
appreciate
leaders are
that
here.
fact?
They are here. Our leaders, you are here. You are leading this nation. How many hours did you spend here leading this nation? How much time have you invested in advocating for these things? I'm not putting you on the spot. I have had responsibilities that you have had. I know how much we have not put our focus on the things that matter, but we come to do postmortem. We come to criticize because we have the luxury of criticizing. We also have the right. So we can exercise our right to be criticized. But we should also exercise our duty to push. We are not pushing adequately in this country. I don't know about the others.
Okay, Naka, do you think we still have time to make things better? We are already in the middle of a process already. People have started receiving money. Can it be adjusted?
Just like I said, a serious leadership would know that this is coming and we shall handle it this way. If I don't start giving people money, however small it is, 10 days to the end of the lockdown, which lasted over 40 days. And you see, there must be pure goodwill from government to help its people.
You don't see goodwill?
I do not see it. There must be pure goodwill. You see, we have this pandemic. It has been here since 2020. In Uganda, the lockdown. People have started appreciating the delivery services, for example. From the youth perspective, young people are starting businesses. You know, we have this problem, people saying businesses do not live to celebrate their first birthday. Now, young people are starting businesses somehow, amidst difficulty. And when they are maybe now getting to use the cyberspace because the shops are locked down. But we appreciate that there is cyberspace online. Someone can have their merchandise, if it's shoes or clothes, at home, and they are doing deliveries using the borders that are operating. And then you put a 12% tax, you know, on internet.
On internet data.
Yeah, I do not see goodwill from government. You see all this money that we're getting as COVID-19 response. It's response fund from IMF, from World Bank. That it should be put to better use. But the problem we have in Uganda is the cost of public administration. You see that money comes, but a big percentage of it goes to public administration. Not to do something specific, but for meetings and travels and, you know, just for people to be talking about it. The money that goes through, the money that we spend in corruption, the money that we spend in meetings and taking coffee is money that would actually be put to better use to help SMEs come out of this. You know, do you appreciate that after this lockdown, very many SMEs will not come back to business?
True.
SMEs that have suffered over a year of lockdown will not come back to business. Now we have small financial institutions like MDIs, microfinance deposit taking institutions, which depend on the daily returns of these small businesses. And you see how badly they will be affected by this. So I think government needs to put money to better use than the cost of public administration.
All right. Well, Baguma, if you can make a few comments on Nakadi's submissions, and we wind up. We only have 5 minutes. I don't know how we can really do it.
No, I think she makes interesting points. I would only be interested to see how she will be asking for PG municipality. I think she will be pushing to have PG municipality so that you can increase public administration, so that you can have an MP there. I am waiting. I told you.
That means
let's wait and see what she will be pushing for in her council. Whether it is not increasing public administration.
we are struggling to fight public administration.
Because I have had this talk. I have been part of processes. I don't know what happens when people who are publicly
it eventually turns out that they are the ones
that they go
benefiting
and they vote, and you are like, what is happening? So she's making creation of constituencies and splitting of public units.
Which is very unfortunate.
And I'm like, okay, so this is the person whom we were with the other day condemning this. The vote in the council is for splitting. So I think...
For the record, I do not sit in council.
No, I'm not saying... I'm saying... So I don't know what happens. I haven't gone into elective politics. I think I should. It's time I did. Maybe I would understand the reality that is there. Maybe the reality there is different. But definitely the cost of public administration could be managed better, could be cheaper. And it doesn't matter whether it's from at the legislative level or local governance level or executive offices level. I think it can be managed better. But even for me, the management of the available resources, even if you kept the public administration, the management of the other resources really is also quite important.
Embezzlement and
I can tell you that leadership, whether it is in government or out of government, there is connivance. These guys, I don't know.
All right, in these few minutes that we have, actually there are like two, between you and her.
No, I think I will let her have the rest one for me.
Okay, I want you to utilize this time probably to tell us what you think the rest, the remaining days of the lockdown, you think they will be like after the cash coming in, now the lockdown seems to be, the president is saying the lockdown seems to be working. What do you think would be these few days that are left in this lockdown?
The people who will get some cash will be happy, of course. I wish they could be more. And it will be useful. Hopefully they will not go to drink it and smoke it and do other things. The second thing for me, and that's the most important, is that health is wealth. And health is personal, first and foremost. Can we, as much as possible...
Speak to the camera.
Can we, as much as possible, observe the SOPs? Can we, the vehicles of coronavirus, be the most exemplary in denying the virus any vehicle of spread? That's one. Two, can we, as leadership, do everything and be seen to be doing everything to make the pain of the Ugandans who are in lockdown lessened? Can we be seen to do that? Can we give a little bit more? Can we give stimulus packages? Stimulus package, for God's sake. I feel pained that I have not seen any stimulus package. Don't tell me about Uganda Development Bank. Uganda Development Bank. For a small, I am chair of a board of a small financial institution. When shall we ever get money from the Uganda
Its
Development
impact is
Bank?
very thin.
You know, so can we be seen, can we do and be seen to be much fairer and much more serious on the pain of the people? Finally, can we push like we always push even harder to get the vaccines that may be available elsewhere and get them here and immunize our people?
That's very important. And do you envisage a situation where people will be agitated by the stress of the lockdown and maybe getting out of order? Or what they
no, not yet. Not yet. The Ugandans have food.
Really?
Human beings who have food.
Here in the city?
Human beings who have food are unlikely to agitate.
Do you have food?
I tell you, I always said, and I've said this, you can look through the many programs I have been on the show, on even other shows, that a population which is adequately restless, you can't manage it with tear gas. Never.
Okay, Madam Nakande, 2 minutes as you conclude. I think you also have a message to the youth out there.
Yeah, thank you so much. First of all, I do not expect so much to, like you asked, the remaining few days. I do not expect so much to change, except for the decrease in number of cases, because of course people are locked down somehow. So cases will keep decreasing, but we need to work strongly around finding the vaccine, negotiating better to get the vaccine, to get more sustainable, to put more sustainable measures in place.
You also agree that our government has not done enough in negotiating so that we get these vaccines?
I think they are trying, but we need to do more.
Okay.
We need to do more. We need to do better to get those. We need to do better, and even our bilateral relations should help us get better. And this is now my plea to the young people, even to families. We have a problem of COVID-19 teenage pregnancies from the first lockdown to this lockdown. My prayer is we keep our children as safe as possible. If you're young people, please take responsibility of yourselves, of your bodies. Do not fall prey to pregnancy or to irresponsible disease because of the lockdown. We need to keep ourselves as safe as possible, observe the SOPs, keep social distancing, keep washing your hands, and I am hopeful that we shall get better. But of course, my final plea is to government, have pure goodwill to help the people. All this unnecessary taxation, people should actually be getting more money from government, not spending more money on government. Yeah, and just like people say, can our leaders live simply, such that their people simply live? The cost of administration is to reduce.
Well, that's it, the dialogue. Our time is running out, and I must thank our viewers. I was trying to retrieve messages from social media platforms, but I could not do it because of time. But I encourage you to go to our social media pages, post your comments, and make your contributions that side. And I must appreciate my guests in the studio. Thank you so much, Madam Nakande.
Thank you so much, Apollo, for having me.
Thank you so much, Baguma.
I appreciate you for always bringing me in.
Good. Well, I must appreciate our viewers once again. Thank you for staying with us. We apologize that we started a bit late, but that's not what it will be next time will be right on time. I must say you should stay safe so that we meet again next Saturday. Dialogue is going out. Good afternoon and a happy weekend.
Soul Television, Femunyo.